I'm Ollie Hayler. I'm Sales Director for Resistant AI, based in the UK, as Linda said, so a bit of an unearthly hour here. I want to share a bit about our company first before talking about how we're helping firms tackle financial crime. So we're headquartered in the lovely city of Prague in the Czech Republic. We have around 150 employees. 9 of them have got PhDs in AI, and it's AI and machine learning that are really at the forefront of our capabilities and that allow us to fight the bad guys, detect financial crime at the point of customer onboarding all the way through to when they start making transactions. So what do we do and how do we help payments organizations? We protect the onboarding and transaction monitoring systems from manipulation and attack by fraudsters and financial criminals. In order to do this, we subject customer interactions to essentially a deep forensic analysis to uncover anomalies in both KYC and KYB documentation and the transactions themselves. One of the key benefits of the technology that we have is ease of implementation. We don't require our customers to replace any existing risk and compliance systems and processes. Our tech simply augments and enhances their capabilities of the underlying systems. So it's normally a very straightforward, quick deployment through a simple API. We're a cloud-based solution, a SaaS-based subscription model. And companies like Payoneer, who I'm sure you're all familiar with, are already reaping the benefits of faster, safer customer onboarding while stopping hundreds of synthetic money mules each day. And those companies like Finom, another one of our customers, are turning their compliance teams into effectively a competitive advantage that enables them to enter and scale into new markets in a very short period of time. Most of the current KYB, KYC solutions and screening tools out in the market today specialize in IDs and liveness checks, or they might rely on databases that often don't provide full coverage. So there's a gap there. The other gap is in detecting forgeries in secondary KYC documentation that might be used for proof of address, income validation, proof of company incorporation, and so on. And forgeries on digital documents that we're seeing are now largely undetectable to the human eye. And that's a fact that's obviously exploited by the fraudsters. Given firms we speak to perform manual checks on the documents currently, that's currently the sort of the status quo at the moment, they do miss a lot of the fraud. They also incur high costs, and they'll often struggle with operational efficiencies just down to the sheer volume of documents that they have to sift through. Once these false identities are in the system, there's obviously then plenty of opportunity for damage to be done. And where we're seeing more and more of these accounts being used as synthetic money mules to obscure the source of criminal funds, this is pretty rife in the industry today. The traditional rules-based transaction monitoring systems typically generate around 95% false alerts. And the financial investigation teams that we speak to are just spending more and more time chasing ghosts rather than actually finding the real risks. And the current approach is just to keep up with those shifting criminal behaviors, is just to deploy more and more rules requiring more resource. And it's a vicious circle that ends with some teams having to maintain literally thousands of rules. So this is where we come in. Firstly, we help uncover the risk in the onboarding process by checking the quality of the documents, classifying them, and then performing a deep forensic analysis to come up with a verdict on whether that document is authentic or not. And we provide 1 of 4 verdicts from trusted, where we know the document to be genuine, through to the other end of the spectrum, which is high risk, where we have a high level of certainty that the document has been manipulated with fraudulent intent. We also go a step further, and by working with our customers and understanding their risk appetite, we can really drive automation through what we call adaptive decisioning. And this is where we make a recommendation to approve a document, decline it, or refer it for manual review. And we can get to a very, very high level of automation with our customers, to the point where some of them have only around 10% of the documents being pushed to manual review, which means that 90% of the documents can be automated. And obviously, that comes with huge cost savings to the business. We're seeing an increasing amount of what we call serial fraud, typically coming from organized criminals. And this is where we see what is essentially the same document being recycled or used as a template, just with minor changes. So for example, it might be coming from the same device, or have the same background or have the same creation or modification dates. And we see a lot of utility bills where the only thing that changes is the PII and the meter readings. They remain exactly the same, and all the charges remain the same. If it's an image, we can even pick up the creases on the page and the lighting, for example, are identical. And for one of our payments customers, we're actually stopping over 100 serial fraud cases per day that they would have certainly gone unnoticed by the human eye. So that's a bit of a whistle-stop tour in the short time that I've got to walk you through Resistant and the technology. The focus was a little bit skewed towards document forensics, but when this is combined with our transaction forensics to uncover new AML and fraud risks to help prioritize alerts that are generated from TM systems, we're able to provide essentially a very strong perpetual KYC solution from customer onboarding through to their ongoing transactions.